Trent Alexander-Arnold, the tactical chess master. Trent Alexander-Arnold isn't just a gifted footballer, he's a strategic mind operating at speeds most players can't comprehend. Widely regarded for reinventing the right-back role, Trent's intelligence lies in how he breaks traditional football systems using foresight, vision, and mental pattern recognition. His connection with chess is more than a hobby, it's a reflection of his brain's operating system. In 2022, Trent was invited to participate in the Play Magnus chess campaign, where he played against chess professionals and elite players. He trains regularly on chess.com, and in interviews, he often compares football tactics to chess strategies. His favorite part of the game is thinking 5 steps ahead, exactly how he sees football. He once described crossing not as a spontaneous act, but a result of reading the future in terms of player movement and space shifts. This mindset has made him one of the most intelligent fullbacks in Premier League history. Under Jurgen Klopp, Trent took on a role that defies positional boundaries. He drifts into midfield to act as a deep-lying playmaker, while simultaneously holding the width of a winger and the defensive responsibilities of a fullback. That level of tactical fluidity requires constant scanning, mental adaptability, and exceptional decision-making under pressure. When Liverpool are building from the back, Trent positions himself not just to receive the ball, but to manipulate the shape of the press. By standing in specific half spaces, he drags opposition players out of position. He knows how to bait a pressing winger, then release a line-breaking pass that takes 3 players out of the game. It's not improvisation, it's orchestration. His assist numbers, especially during Liverpool's 2018 to 2022 peak, were among the highest for any defender in Premier League history. But stats don't explain the genius behind them. He delivers passes not where players are, but where they're about to be. He understands the timing of runs, the blind spots of defenders, and the weight of delivery, down to the millisecond. In defensive transitions, he often acts like a central midfielder, cutting off passing lanes rather than chasing the ball directly. That shows a level of game IQ usually reserved for elite central midfielders or center backs, not attacking fullbacks. Finally, his calmness under pressure, his ability to reset the tempo, and his range of vision have all made analysts refer to him as a quarterback in a football shirt. But unlike most quarterbacks, he plays 2 or 3 different tactical roles in a single match, all while carrying the mental load of someone playing 4D chess. Lionel Messi, vision beyond sight. Lionel Messi's intelligence on the football pitch operates on a level that's nearly impossible to quantify. While many players rely on speed, power, or improvisation, Messi builds his entire game on perception, anticipation, and decision-making. He processes vast amounts of information in milliseconds, adjusting his body, reading his opponents, and deciding the optimal move before anyone else can react. One of the most studied aspects of Messi's intelligence is his eye movement. Researchers have found that Messi looks away from the ball more than any other player, constantly scanning the field, both when in possession and when waiting for a pass. This scanning behavior, also known as visual exploratory activity, allows him to maintain a mental map of the pitch at all times. He sees where defenders are, where they're going, where his teammates might run, and how space is shifting, all in real time. Messi also possesses what experts call la pausa, the pause. This is the moment when he slows down just enough to freeze the defense. It's a subtle hesitation that manipulates timing. Defenders stop their run or shift weight, and that micro moment is all Messi needs to bypass them or release a pass. His passing ability is another mark of football IQ. Messi doesn't just pass into open space, he passes into space that doesn't exist yet, where his teammate will be in 1 or 2 seconds. He calculates angles, speed, and momentum, almost like running physics simulations in real time. In positional play, especially under Pep Guardiola at Barcelona, Messi operated in a false 9 role that demanded not just skill, but absolute cognitive discipline. He would drop deep to overload midfield, drag center backs out of position, then release wingers into vacated space. That role involved reading the entire team's structure, not just individual markers. In short, Messi's intelligence is a synthesis of spatial memory, predictive modeling, cognitive restraint, and total awareness. He doesn't play with the game, he plays above it. Romelu Lukaku, the linguistic strategist. Romelu Lukaku is often recognized for his physical strength and goal-scoring ability, but behind his power lies an exceptional cognitive skill set centered on communication, cultural intelligence, and tactical adaptability. He is fluent in 8 languages: French, Dutch, English, Portuguese, Spanish, German, Italian, and Lingala. This linguistic intelligence has deep tactical implications. Lukaku can communicate with teammates and coaches in their native tongues, instantly improving trust, tactical clarity, and in-game adjustments. At Inter Milan, he used Spanish with Lautaro Martinez. In Belgium's national team, he connects French, Dutch, and German speakers. He's also a student of defenders. Lukaku studies their habits, weaknesses, and reactions, storing information and altering his runs mid-game based on their body language. Across leagues, he has adapted to different systems: Serie A's tactics, Premier League's intensity, and League One's physicality, by applying mental flexibility and quick learning. Off the field, his interviews show depth, clarity, and emotional intelligence. Whether discussing racism or tactical failures, he communicates with perspective, confidence, and maturity. His intelligence is holistic, verbal, strategic, and social. Andrés Iniesta, master of space and silence. Andrés Iniesta's brilliance came from his spatial intelligence, tempo control, and emotional calm. He wasn't flashy, but he always appeared where the game needed him. Iniesta constantly scanned the field, finding or creating pockets of space in dense areas. His body feints were minimal but effective. He understood tempo like a conductor, slowing play down, then accelerating it with a single pass. His decisions were precise, and his execution nearly flawless. Under pressure, he never rushed. His famous World Cup winning goal in 2010 wasn't luck. It was a perfect read of space, movement, and timing. Off the ball, he read his teammates and opponents emotionally. Iniesta led through awareness and empathy. His intelligence was measured not just in touches, but in presence. Manuel Neuer, the architect of modern goalkeeping. Manuel Neuer redefined the goalkeeper's role. His intelligence lies in spatial control, anticipation, and decision-making. Acting as a sweeper keeper, Neuer positions himself far off his line, cutting out through balls before they develop. This requires advanced prediction of passing patterns. His timing is nearly flawless. Rushing out a second too early or late would be catastrophic, but he consistently intercepts at the perfect moment. With the ball, he plays like a midfielder. Precise short passes, composed under pressure, and capable of launching counters. Neuer changed how goalkeepers are trained. He didn't just adapt to modern football, he shaped it. Xabi Alonso, the coach before retirement. Xabi Alonso dictated matches with his brain. He scanned the pitch constantly, reading pressing triggers, opponent shapes, and teammate movements. Fluent in multiple languages, he adapted across Spain, England, and Germany. At Bayern, they called him the Brain. After retiring, Alonso moved straight into coaching. His tactical clarity translated instantly. At Bayer Leverkusen, he built a dominant side using structured systems, positional play, and control, just like he did as a player. His intelligence is both theoretical and practical. Execution backed by understanding. Thomas Müller, the Raumdeuter, space interpreter. Thomas Müller invented his own position, Raumdeuter, or interpreter of space. He doesn't rely on speed or skill, but on reading body language, blind spots, and defensive errors. He finds scoring positions through timing and stealth. He manipulates defenders by altering his posture, gaze, or movement rhythm. His game looks chaotic, but is deeply calculated. Off the field, Müller understands tactical language, guides teammates, and disrupts systems in ways few players can replicate. Zlatan Ibrahimović, the mind game architect. Zlatan Ibrahimović is a master of spectacle, but behind the ego and charisma lies one of the most strategic minds in football. His intelligence doesn't just show in how he plays, but how he influences defenders, teammates, coaches, and even the media. He understands football as a mental game as much as a physical one, and he's spent his entire career dominating both arenas. First, Zlatan is multilingual, speaking fluent Swedish, English, Italian, Spanish, and Bosnian. This isn't just about communication, it's about cultural adaptation. He's led locker rooms in 5 of Europe's biggest leagues. Being able to speak the local language allowed him to connect with teammates, interpret tactical nuances, and quickly become a central figure in each club. That linguistic flexibility reflects a high level of emotional intelligence, often overlooked in discussions of football IQ. Second, his martial arts training is more than a party trick. Zlatan holds a black belt in Taekwondo, and he has credited this background for his body control, flexibility, and timing, all essential in executing impossible goals like the 30-yard bicycle kick versus England or his countless no-angle volleys. What most people see as acrobatics is actually spatial awareness, anticipation, and biomechanics, calculated movements honed over decades of disciplined mental and physical training. Zlatan also studies his opponents deeply, but not just their their tactics. He watches their emotions. He knows who loses focus after a hard tackle, who reacts to trash talk, and who's intimidated by presence alone. He leverages this with gestures, facial expressions, and words during matches. Psychological warfare in its purest form. When he steps onto the pitch, he's already playing the game before the ball is even touched. His tactical understanding is elite. Despite playing as a striker, Zlatan often drops deep to create overloads, pulls defenders out of position, or serves as a pivot to launch counterattacks. He isn't just looking to score. He reads the structure of the defense and bends it to his will. Even in his late 30s and early 40s, when physical attributes declined, he maintained top-level performances purely through game intelligence and timing. Zlatan also uses the media as part of his mental arsenal. He carefully crafts his public image, not randomly, but strategically. Every bold statement, every viral quote serves a purpose: to build pressure on opponents, control narratives, and elevate his own myth. It's marketing, psychology, and performance art wrapped in football boots. And finally, behind the persona, Zlatan is an obsessive learner. Teammates have spoken about his work ethic, his post-match reviews, and his constant drive to adapt. His longevity, playing elite football well into his 40s, isn't luck. It's mental durability, tactical evolution, and relentless self-discipline. Zlatan isn't just a footballer. He's a character he designed, a player he sculpted, and a mind that never stops calculating.